Hey guys, JH. Welcome to the practice tee. Okay, a couple of things today. And I think at long last, after 10 years, I finally got my audio worked out. Didn't realise that I had all the gain settings wrong for 10 years. I'm not an audio guy. I hope it's better. Okay guys, a couple of things. Something that's really important. When we say we push down in the backswing with channel lock, that can tend to conjure up a feeling and a thought inclination of being, very stilted and very rigid with the club head. Now at the end of the day guys, we've always got to fire or drive into the club head momentum. I mean, that's what the backswing is about. The club head has to be loaded all the time with momentum. You can't just take it back static like that and expect it to set itself and position itself, sort of load itself. You can't expect it to do that if you don't have momentum in it, because the simple fact is guys that the momentum, once the momentum is created, it'll get back here and it'll get to a point where it has to stop moving as momentum, and it has to position the mass of the golf club. And that's what really does set our wrists at the top of the golf swing. And I've had a couple of my private guys and I've looked at them, and they seem to be very, very stilted looking, right on cue, the aircraft. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's just extraordinary. Okay, so what do we do? When we take the club back in the channel, try and, as an intention, try and, concentrate on the toe of the golf club, where you want to throw the toe of the golf club in the backswing. You basically feel like you want to throw it back there somewhere, the toe of the golf club. Now to do that, you have to build momentum. You can't do it any other way. If you're going to throw the toe, you've got to throw the toe. And by throwing the toe, you create momentum. And you will create an automatic loading process in the backswing. So you can't take the club back, guys. You've got to swing it back, you've got to flow it back, you've got to momentum ride it back. And it's an important thing, even with the shortest of shots. You don't want to get, okay, even when we have an arm ball is basically just a non-application of the hands and wrists independently. But we still want momentum in the club head. Even if we're going to have an arm ball, we're going to pitch a ball with an arm ball, we still want momentum in the club head, because the momentum is what drives the hit and the impact. So it's an important facet, guys, and an important point, and I just wanted to really get that across. So in taking it back, feel like there's momentum in the golf club when we take it back. Push it back, we load it. Just feel like the club loads. If you can't feel it loading, then you've got no momentum in it. That's just a static take back, and you don't want that. At the end of the day, guys, that's how a golf club works. Mo Norman used to do that at the Natural Golf Days. He said, that's how my golf swing works. And by that he meant that he just swung the golf club head. Everybody that's ever played to any great level of competition or applied expertise has always had that in their golf swing. I mean, that doesn't work. You have to have load. You have to have the paintbrush feeling, guys. Now the other thing, and I noticed it yesterday myself, I was hitting some shots with some of my buddies here, and my striking wasn't that great. and actually started to hit a few in the heel. And I thought, what's that all about? And they were going straight, and they were on the channel lock flight direction path, but you know, there was just a, I don't know, just got a heel type of hit, and it wasn't all that great. And I thought, what's that about? And then I go back and I examine the structure and the construction of the channel lock body, structural foundation, and what that does to make the quality of the hit good and higher in efficiency. And that is that we've got to be supporting the golf club with maximum efficiency in our structure here. We've got to be doing that. Now, how do we do that? That means that this whole trail, a vertical axis, has to be stable. And like with any structure, guys, it's the low part of the structure, which is the foundation, which is the most important part of any structure. It's the foundation. So for us, where is the foundation of the channel lock vertical axis? Well, elementary, guys, it's the lowest part of the structure, the part that's closest to the ground, and that's our trail foot. So what I'm alluding to here, guys, is that when we're firing the momentum and the power of that trail side away from that, our intentional fixed fulcrum, which is the trail shoulder here, we want to have support for that firing away from something, and that comes about by keeping that trail foot down as much as you can, basically flat on the ground. Here, just did a little shot here, just show you what I mean. Okay, that's overdone. That's overdone because that's very Mo Normanish there. But guys, what I'm feeling there is all my weight going vertically down through my trail foot. Now it's counterintuitive because we always want to rotate and revolve and release that trail side in a conventional golf swing. But that's counterproductive in channel lock because we want to stay in the channel, we want to keep the shoulders closed, and we want to fire the club away from that fixed fulcrum. Now in doing that, if we fire the club away, and watch this trail foot here, if we've got this fixed fulcrum here, and we want to keep that fixed fulcrum, which is the trail shoulder, so that we've got something to fire away from to keep our shoulder girdle closed, this has got to stay back. This is your fence post in the channel lock swing. It's got to stay back here so you've got something to fire away from. But if I do this, say I've got my golf ball out here, and I'm going to fire the club out to it, if I release this coming in, that releases that entire trail vertical axis. It releases the upper leg, it releases the upper thigh, it releases the upper hip, the torso, and as a knock-on biomechanical, anatomical, structural, reverse hierarchical application, this trail shoulder is going to want to do that, and this whole trail side is going to want to do that. Now we don't want to do that. We want to stay here. Now what better way to do that than to force that trail foot into the ground? And how do we force that trail foot into the ground? Well, I personally force the inside part of my heel into the ground, like that. If I had a drink can and I was trying to crush it, there, I'd be doing it with that part of my my foot, the inside, like that. I want to really crush that drink can. And guys, I wasn't doing it. And my buddy took a video and he just said, have a look at your foot. You look like you're entering a quick step dance competition rather than trying to hit a golf ball. And I was, guys. I was very active. Now, I've been doing a bit of work lately on my legs with my exercise programs, and I'm quite strong at the moment. My vertical jump's way up and I'm really strong and really my legs are active. So there's a tendency to want to do that. But I've got to... These planes are taking off 1.5 minutes apart. Ridiculous. How can there be that many people coming out of a country town every day? Okay, so what do we want to do? I'll just hit a full shot and I'll really concentrate on jamming that trail foot down. Okay, that's exaggerated. That's both feet down and back. But I promise you guys, you could do a lot worse than do that. Hit some shots like that, because that hit was just really solid. And if someone said to me, JH, why wouldn't you just keep both feet down exactly like that when you hit the ball? You know, I wouldn't have any reply to that would could substantiate me not doing that. So I don't know, maybe the evolution of channel lock going forward will incorporate, you know, both feet jammed onto the ground at impact. Because in jamming that trail foot down, we really get that effect. Now immediately, even at address, guys, I've got it jammed in on that trail heel there. And if you think about wanting to work with the 5 o'clock nose, think about the knock-on effect of the trail foot coming up. Trail foot coming up is going to release the knee, is going to release the upper thigh, is going to release the hip, going to release the torso, it's going to release the right side, and it's going to inject rotation into the shoulder girdle, which is going to push the jaw and the nose forward. So keeping the 5 o'clock nose in place goes right back down to the trail foot here, guys. That's where it is. Now I had a lot of 5 o'clock nose there, and I felt like, what did I feel like? I felt like I was swung under the shot. I'm swinging under, and the weight is going there. That's what it feels like. Okay, that looks ungainly. And that looks very, very amateurish and very social player looking. I mean, that's the sort of golf swing, you know, how often do we see... I'm out with the cows again today, guys, and crabgrass has grown an inch since yesterday. So guys, how often do we see this on the driving range? How often do we see that from the social play? That was a great shot. The contact on that was unbelievable. Just unbelievable and dead straight. Because I wasn't like that at impact. I was probably like that at impact. And then I went here. So you could actually hit some shots, guys, like that. I mean, the contact on that was just crazy. Crazy good. Not crazy bad, I mean crazy, very, very good. So you can hit some shots like that to get the feel of that trail heel being down. I'll just hit another one. Our social players golf swing. All right, do that and just do it a little bit smoother. like that. Now you do get a lot of what I call shoulder block in that shot. By staying back there and keeping that shoulder girdle back, this lead shoulder stays really blocked and you'll get this look about you. Here. You won't get any throw over, sideways release there. You won't get that. Okay, that looks ungainly, but I promise you, if you could feel the impact of that and it's dead in the centre of the golf club, you immediately, your own thinking would suggest there's something going on here. Now what's going on is that I've got tremendous stability and support in that trail side for the hit. And then we just blend that a little bit more into a normal golf swing, a normal channel-like golf swing. See, that's up just a tiny bit, but it wouldn't have been at impact. And you can have a little bit of post-impact release. There's no problem with that at all. But the emphasis and the intention should be to keep it down. So if you can actually hit a couple with that foot down, like that. Okay, so that's just up a little bit, but there's no drive. That's the thing I like about that. There's no drive up in that. They're only 3/4 shots, guys, just to get the feel and to show you what we're doing. Now, if I'm going to hit a full shot, there'll be a lot more pressure on that trail foot to come up clearly. So we'll see what sort of job we can do as a drill. Okay, they're both feet down. And look at this, the club is still in front of the body. Yeah, that's a great shot. Does that take a lot of commitment? You bet it does. Because we don't play golf like that, guys. We play golf like release the trail side. That's how we play golf. That's how we traditionally have swung the golf club. Traditional golf swing. We release that trail side. Traditional golf swing. Everything's through there. That just feels awful now after channel lock. It just feels so, I don't know, it just feels like it's just not supported in any manner or form. Terrible. But we don't want any of that. We want trail foot down. And Bill Phillips was talking about being short, getting in here. I've always been in here, guys. I try and have that arm in there all the time. I've had that from day one, and I have it there from a driver. I have it for everything. It just makes me consistent. Try and get square on, Jage. I'm sitting back here. That's good. Just hit a few of those. Okay, guys, they're just a couple of points today that I think you could put into your practice and it'll certainly make a difference. Beautiful day here today. What else? I had something else, but I've completely lost it. I'll kill this video and maybe when in the break I'll remember and come back.